So I wanted to give you a bit of an update on the Kiox-500 display that I added. Really liking the display. It's got quite a number of different screens you can set up. I think it comes with maybe 6 or 8 preloaded screens. This is one of the screens that's optional. You can add it in there. It's called the dynamic screen. So when you have the motor off, it gives you 6 fields. You can't edit this screen. This is, I think, average, maximum speed. You've got your current ride distance, elevation gain, the time duration. So this would be your range depending on your riding mode. And right now I have it off. If I bump up to like Eco Plus, it'll tell me that I have 59 miles of range in that mode. And then this one, as you start riding, it'll switch over to 3 fields. It'll give you the speed with a power bar, and then it's got your current cadence and then the average cadence shown as a little dial. And then on the bottom, it will have all the ranges starting with the lowest range. I have Eco Plus, and then I've got Eco, Tour, and Tour Plus, and it'll give you the range in each of those modes across the bottom. So one of the neat things this does is as you go downhill or uphill, it will change displays. So as you start down a hill coasting, it'll have an arrow saying downhill, which is like, yeah, I know I'm going downhill, but then it switches to a full screen 2-digit speed display. And that's kind of nice because a lot of the areas I ride in have like 15-mile-an-hour speed limits, and if you're coasting down a long grade, and if it's a bumpy fire road or something, it's hard to read the screen, you know, when it's like digits that size. But when it's the full screen, you can really see the speed digits on the screen. And then it'll say flat and then uphill, and then it'll switch back to the dynamic screen. You can have a Kiox and an Intuvia display running at the same time. Most of the screens have 3 entries down here, and I can get 2 more. I can have speed, distance here, and then I can have 3 more fields down here. So I've been playing around with that. And then if you use the right button, middle button, whatever you want to call it, this one shows you the time. There's your linked phone, and then if you hold the button down for 2 seconds, you can go into the settings. It's not a touch screen. This one, I'll probably get rid of that screen. It's just a full screen speed display. It's like, what's the point of that? And then here's your distance, riding time, and then that's the total distance on the bike. Here's your range again, and then it's got your e-bike battery and your phone battery. I think this is one I created. I put my speed at the top, and then here's your current cadence, and then the average cadence for the previous rides. And then this one is kind of neat. It's a power share display. So this shows you the motor power. So for the last ride I did, 34% of the power or the energy came from the motor, 66% came from me. And this one's a little tricky to interpret because I ride like in Eco or Eco Plus mode, which are 60% pedal assist. So you would think, shouldn't this say 60% here and it says 34? So the idea is if I put in 100 watts, the motor puts in 60 watts and you get 160 total. But if you work that back to 100, if I put in 66 watts, the motor would put in about 34 watts. That's kind of the average you get riding in Eco mode. If I ride Eco Plus, it'll be more like 25-75, because Eco Plus is like Eco mode, 60% assist, but only if you exceed a certain threshold of power. Eco Plus is only on about half the time. And then let's see, yeah, this is just a ride summary, average max speed. And then this one, it shows elevation, total elevation gain, and then there's the maximum elevation you reached on that ride. These numbers, I think these come from the phone, and they don't seem to update very often, maybe every 30 minutes or something. I need to figure out how this works a little better, because you can start climbing and these numbers won't change. And then there's your navigation. So like here, if I hold the button down, I can have routes loaded in there. And then we're back to this one. And you can add as many screens as you want. I don't know if there's a limit. The other neat thing you can do with the Kiox-500 is I can lock the bike to this display. I will finish my ride. That way it clears out the data. Yeah, now I can turn this off. And you can see it gives you a little summary. Now it's off. To remove this with this mount here, I can't really get my hand around this way, but I can this way. You have to push on the mounting adapter here. There's a little spring-loaded piece I'll show you in there, but if you squeeze like with those two fingers against your thumb, you can just pop that out, and you can see there's the little spring-loaded piece. I think it's normally made to go this way, but there's not enough room to get my fingers in there. But if I go in here now and try to turn the bike on, I don't know if you can see, but it's flashing here and it says locked. I can't do anything. It'll power up, but without this plugged in, it won't unlock. So I can come back here and plug that in, and now it unlocked. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get the 500, was so I can use this as a bike lock. Right here, everything's normal. It's connected, ready to go. I'll shut this off. Okay, we're powered down, and then I'll pop the Kiox out of there. Now I'll turn it back on. Now it says connected, but locked. The nice thing with the Kiox display is right here it says need help unlocking. So it says if you lost the display, you can tap here, just follow the directions there and reset the lock. I like this rather than locking to your phone, because if you're locked to the phone and you lose your phone, that's it. You can't get back. There's no easy way. You've got to go to your local Bosch dealer, and even then it's a real pain, I guess, to unlock the bike. I like having this as a lock because it locks the bike, but if I lose this or this dies, I can unlock it myself. So to change what's on here, you just go to Settings, Display, Configuration, and there's the screens I have. You can come in here, you can change the order, you can edit a screen, you can add a screen. There's the dynamic screen. That one you can't edit, but you can add it in there. If I wanted to add a screen, you can select how you want them laid out there. If I wanted to edit, so like if I wanted to go in there, there's all your parameters. You can have the battery, ascent, cadence, calories, distance, elevation, heart rate. I haven't been able to get the heart rate display to work because you need a heart rate strap that's compatible with Bosch, and it's got to have specific Bluetooth capabilities. The strap I have that works with my Garmin doesn't work with Bosch. But yeah, there's your navigation, power share, you've got range, various speed displays, time, total distance. So there's probably a good couple dozen parameters in there. You can mix and match, you can keep all these, you can delete ones you don't like, you can change the order, add new ones. So yeah, I added the dynamic, and I added this one here. Gives you the basics, speed, distance, and cadence. Although if I'm running this one, I have speed and distance, so I could actually put power and something else on there. So yeah, really happy with the display. I've playing around with an anti-glare screen. Not sure that it's better or worse. At the angle this is at, I really don't get any glare on the screen, but if I get light from the side, it hits the anti-glare screen and it washes out the display. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the anti-glare screen. I mean, I just peel it off if I don't like it. So anyway, yeah, really happy with that display.